Let's face it, Nintendo is the grandfather of gaming. They have innovated so many hardware and software when it comes to the mechanics of games. They have practically invented some genres of gaming that today the gaming industry continues to use and feed their family from. So we know that in the gaming industry, uh, every company copies from one another, but none has done it as so blatantly and so many times as Sony. Let's look and see how the recent PlayStation showcase shows how Sony is copying Nintendo yet again. This is Island Gaming with Jay, and don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Let's look at Sony blatant copying. Sony has a long history of copying Nintendo. For example, when Nintendo came out with the Wii Remote, they shamelessly came out with the PlayStation Move, copying the exact same concept as Nintendo, and in some cases, doing it even a little better. Now, it's not only hardware that Sony copy, they also copied software. When we look at Super Smash Bros., Super Smash Bros. When it came out was a very innovative gaming gen that Nintendo created. Seeing the success of Super Smash Bros., Sony attempted to come out with their own version of that with their PlayStation All-Stars. Of course it failed, and today Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for the Switch is one of the highest selling fighting game of all time. So Sony have a track record of copying Nintendo, and that is exactly what they continue doing in their latest PlayStation showcase, because the first thing they are attempting to copy from Nintendo is securing the rights to a brand new game. Take a look at this game and tell me what it looks familiar to. So I think you get the point. The question is, why would Sony go out of the way to pay Square Enix a lot of money to get this game exclusive on the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 4? Why would Sony want to bring this cutesy tootsie game onto the PlayStation 5 for their fans? Well, here's why. Because although releasing on September 9, 2022, Splatoon 3 has gone on to sell more than 10 million copies in just under a year. When compared this to Horizon Forbidden West, which came out on February the 18th, 2022, so it came out before Splatoon, that game only sold 8.4 million copies, and it was out for a year and 4 months. So given that the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 have a much larger install base than the Nintendo Switch, this is poor sales for the PlayStation platform for a game like Horizon. So Splatoon and that type of game is making a lot of money for Nintendo. And Nintendo, by the way, originated that type of gen when it comes to Splatoon. So it goes without saying that Sony is seeing the success of Splatoon, and they made sure this time that they are not creating the game, Square Enix is, but they are sealing the rights for it. A next blatant copy from Sony. Again, the copying did not end there. Seeing that Nintendo had major success with the Nintendo Switch, selling over 120 million in just roughly under 6 to 7 years, Sony no doubt would be trying to copy that Nintendo Switch concept. And a matter of fact, a lot of companies, is copying that Nintendo Switch concept, because Nintendo basically revitalized the handheld gaming market, although it's a hybrid system. Notice and see what Sony announced at their PlayStation showcase.
Later this year, we will launch a dedicated device that enables you to stream any game from your PS5 console using remote play over Wi-Fi. Internally known as Project Q, it has an 8-inch HD screen and all of the buttons and features of the DualSense wireless controller.
How many times would Nintendo have to show Sony who is the king of the handheld market? How many times? So this is Sony's first handheld since the PlayStation Portable and the PlayStation Vita occurred, and we know in that generation they got a sound beating from Nintendo and they had to leave the market. So this is their first, as it were, footstep in the handheld arena. Let's see what they do different this time around, or if Nintendo will give them another song beating. One thing is clear, Sony has continued to make millions of dollars from copying Nintendo. We know that they do not innovate, they just imitate. This is Island Gaming with Jay. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit this notification bell. So let me hear what you think about what was said. Is it that I am just reaching with all of these reasonings that Sony are true innovators, they would have propelled the industry in many ways? Or is it that I am correct and Sony will continue to copy Nintendo as long as Nintendo is around? Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos later.